Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build the model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, go right ahead and just lurk, and that's okay. John is here. Hello, John. Happy to have you here. We are currently at, boom, 29 out of 40 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have when we hit 40. If you want to become a subscriber, well, you could. You could do that if you wanted to. Get yourself on the gift sub leaderboard. There is a, Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. There is also a promotion happening right now where if you gift 2 subs or you subscribe to 2 channels, you will get a promotion here for 30 days Crunchyroll Mega Fan tier, which is a whole month. Sub to 2 streamers or gift 2 subs. That's because the anime awards are happening this Sunday in Japan, evening, afternoon, so very early Sunday for us here. I will not be watching it live. I did a watch along of that like 2 years, but then they didn't do it live 1 year, and then they didn't record one year, and then they moved to doing it in Japan, which is very cool for them, but not cool for me, a person that would like to live stream it, to like to co-stream it. But I will have on Monday, the next episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, I will be talking through the results and how I think they're wrong. I mean, I don't know. I have a feeling that Frieren is not anime of the year, so they'll be wrong. That's my gut. My gut says that even though it's the fall 2023 and the winter, spring, summer, and fall 2024 season, and Frieren is fall 2023 and winter 2024, and should therefore, like, the whole thing should be accounted for. My gut says that something else is going to win over it, which is wrong. Because it fucking rules. Because it's fucking Frieren. I mean, you may remember that in my 2023 best of, top 10, I said that, Frieren was number 2 and is the one to beat for 2024, and to me, nothing beat it. I mean, it was just the best anime of the year. No questions asked. Who knows? Maybe there will be ones that really kick some fucking ass. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I don't know. Let's go to the overhead camera. Boom. That's what I'll say. And then I also need to add in my number thing here because I took it away. Because earlier today I recorded a mailbag video that went out to patrons. $5 and $10 tier patrons, and then we'll go out to everybody else tomorrow, where I talk about the next thing that I'll be building, which is a Lego set. But we can't build that Lego set until I finish this model kit. So let's get going on that. Whoops. I just knocked over. I gotta reach. Oh boy. Can I reach it? I can reach it. I can. I knocked over my stickers. I'm gonna need these. I'm gonna need them. This kit does also have these stickers that have like the clear backing that are not water slides, which I don't love. Marking stickers. I don't love marking stickers. We won't use a lot of them, but we'll use a few on the body just to give it a little pop of red on a somewhat muted. I mean, on the nicest thing I can say about the Requiem for Vengeance is that there's a standardized color palette, and that color palette is bland, muted. Muted, I guess, is the nice way of saying bland, but not a lot of pops of color in this particular show, which makes sense because it was done in Unreal Engine 5, and also the tone of it, kind of like a we're fucked and there's no way to be unfucked by what's happening here tone of the show. You know. Let's see. Not much going on with me. I did get so I'll talk about it now because I won't talk about it in the segment and the end of the show where I talk about games I've been playing and such. Because I haven't played it yet, but I do want to say that I received a code for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Tactics game. So I did receive a code for that. I did not know if I was going to get one. I haven't talked about receiving that code because, hey, Lord Crashton, welcome. I applied for it, and I go through a whole process, and then I didn't hear anything until it arrived. The code arrived today. So I didn't include that in like my plans because I didn't know if I was going to be covering the game or streaming the game. So next Tuesday, instead of Nubby's Number Factory, I will be playing the new Ninja Turtles game from Strange Scaffold. So look forward to that next Tuesday. It came out today. It's available. I think it's on sale for like $17 instead of $20. I don't know for sure. But yeah, I considered picking that up, but I did get a code for it. Like I said, I did not know if I was going to receive one, so I didn't want to be like, oh, hey, I'm definitely playing this game. So we'll play that next Tuesday, and then push back Nubby's Number Factory. There was a update to Nubby's Number Factory that does have some quality of life improvements and some bug patches and such. So that's nice that came out. The next time we do play it, I'll be ready to be able to talk about it more, which is good. Let's see. Lord Crash says, I got Splintered Fate and Tactical Takedown for some turtle fun this weekend. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll play a bit of it. We'll probably start from the beginning. Like, I'll make a new save, but I'm going to play some before Tuesday just to, like, feel it out. We did do the, I should say, I did do a stream of it, of the demo in one of the Steam demo days. So I have had some experience with it. I realized I should probably do another demo thing because I imagine there'll be a lot of good demos out around Summer Game Fest. And when the fuck? Summer Game Fest 2025 is coming out. Okay, yeah, so the day thing is June 6th. So there will probably be some that's next month. So there will probably be some demos. So yeah, so the 3rd I will apply Nubby, and then the 10th. All right, well then at least it'll be an option. The 10th, which will be Patreon's choice, will be an option. Well, I'll put an option in there for download some demos because there should still be some demos up for a while. But I imagine there'll be some new demos out in and around Summer Game Fest. If not from the event, then from the showcases that are coming out around it. The people that try to make that whole week a thing. Get the name out of their games and all that. So, and of course, I'll have recaps of some of the events and my thoughts on some of the games, my standouts and all that, because I like doing that. This Sunday is AEW Collision. Tonight is AEW Collision instead of Saturday. This Sunday is AEW Double or Nothing. And I have been told that a match gets booked on this episode of Collision, which will have, for Double or Nothing. It has not been updated on the Double or Nothing wiki page, but apparently because Collision got taped last night after Dynamite, there is a match that gets set up for that, which will be some sort of 3-man versus 3-man match featuring people. And I won't say what, because it has not been updated. Right now, there are 8 matches for AEW Double or Nothing. One would assume that there will be 0-hour matches. There will be some pre-show matches. One could, I think, reasonably assume that that's going to happen. F1-3. Here's F1-3. This is a very tiny piece here. And there is a tiny sticker that has to go on this. Here's A3. I'm going to apply this sticker after I put the piece on because I want to get this right. Okay, so that goes like that. And then there is a sticker that has to go on this bottom part here. And that sticker is 5. Sticker 5 is... Okay, so that's just... Oh, that's just to give it some depth, I guess, yeah. Give it a little detail. Apply that sticker there, press down. But yeah, so there's going to be some wrestling this weekend for me to watch. I'll be watching the replay of Collision tonight after this stream because it's still happening. There's still 45 minutes left of the show. Didn't get to watch it live, so I watch it later. Live to tape, I should say. Okay, so we got that on. Now we're going to do the front skirts and then probably put the legs, my suit, put the legs on, then do the side skirts after that. That's often the case. Maybe it's not, but that's what I think is going to happen here. So we'll get E out and we'll get A out here. We might start the Lego set tonight. I'll still have to panel line some stuff and then there's some weapons and things. So it's not like a done deal, but I assume this will take the full stream. So that's wrestling. There'll be some 0-hour matches because they have not confirmed any pre-show matches yet. And it looks like we've got a 9-match card, which for AEW feels light. But you have to remember that one of those matches is the Anarchy in the Arena match. And that will be a long match. That'll be quite long. I imagine that Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet shouldn't be too long. Okada versus Speedball for the Continental Championship was confirmed, and that hopefully gets some time, but I could see that one being a little light on time. The tag match shouldn't be long, but I feel like it will be, because Dustin Rhodes gets long matches for reasons, but I hope it's not long. That match is not, that's my piss break match, so. I hate that it is. I hate that a match that has Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin in it is going to be the match that I go and get a snack and take a break and do all that because AEW doesn't really slow down in their pay-per-views. They just go. But I will need a break at some point. And it seems like that's going to be my break match. Which again, a shame. That 3-man match just got announced and all I can say is Yeah, Lashberg. I mean, I guess that's probably actually the piss break match. Although there are people in that match I think are very good. It's a match that does not need to be on a pay-per-view for any reason at all. And involves a champion who should be defending his belts. Ask me. But they don't have a storyline for him to do that. Unless this is building towards Takeshita wanting the TNT title, which feels beneath him at this point, but sure, I guess that could be what they're doing. I don't know. All right, go over here to some final pages here. All right. Oh, we're going to do side skirts first. All right, let's do side skirts, and then we will apply some marker to it. Oh, also, one more thing about AEW, and of course, we'll probably do like the whole rundown of everything on Saturday, and I'll give my final predictions. Oh, these are the back skirts and the side skirts. So we have back skirts as well, and a couple stickers. Stickers, shake your fist. It was announced that Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay, which is the winner will become the 2025 Men's Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament champion. And also, they will receive a title shot for the AEW World title at All In Texas. This is A7, so that's going to go on this side. A6 is going to go on this side. It was announced that that's going to main event the show. And I don't think that's the right choice. Now, am I being a little short-sighted? Because, am I saying that because I think that the Anarchy in the Arena match should obviously be the main event? Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm saying this. Now, is part of the reason why I'm saying that, because that match is going to be Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, and Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata, aka the Ops, versus the Death Riders, John Moxley, Tony Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, and Wheeler Yuta, and the Young Bucks. So I understand, Lashbrook, that's certainly the match you're buying the pay-per-view for. Like, that is a match that, yes, I would like to see that match. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see that match. I am saying that match, in my mind, you open the show with Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay. You go into the main event knowing that Moxley at some point, because he's not going to have a title defense before that probably, he's going to have to fight Will Ospreay or Hangman Adam Page, and you know that going in. I like that more than I like those two guys having a banger in the main event. It doesn't feel like it needs to be the main event. Also, I should say, part of this is because Willow Nightingale and Marina Shafir are in this match. They're in the Anarchy in the Arena match. If the Anarchy in the Arena match went on last, Willow Nightingale and Marina Shafir would be the first women to ever main event an AEW pay-per-view. It's still fucking awful that I'm saying that out loud. That in the year 2025, with AEW, because you could make the argument at any point, and I get it, and I understand it, I don't agree with it, but I understand it, that, well, they only had 3 pay-per-views a year, or 4 pay-per-views a year. The men's world title was always a hotter story. No, we already had the now, we did have the pay-per-view already, where they should have main evented. The Hollywood ending match, which would have been different had it been the main event. Wouldn't have been as short as it was, because they would have done a longer match in the main event, I'm sure. But that's where you do the main event. If you're going to do a main event with women, that's the story. That was the better heat. That was the better option. That's what they should have done. They didn't do that. And they're not doing it here. But it's 2025. At some point, you got to rip the Band-Aid off that. And Marina Shafir is not really a quality wrestler, but Willow Nightingale is. And it would be fine to be like, oh yeah, Willow. Willow was in the first main event with women in it. And maybe you do want to say, well, we don't want to do a mixed like that in the main event. We want it to be its own thing for a title, main event, that show. Yeah. Like, if Mercedes wins, there is a strong argument, in my opinion, that Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm could main event All In. It won't, but it fucking could. That could be a big enough story or big enough, event to justify that happening. Again, I don't think that's going to happen. I think more realistically, it will be John Moxley versus Will Ospreay will main event. That's my guess. Wait, where'd E2 go? I took E2. Oh, it's E1. Okay, E1. Yeah. All right, that's what I need. E1 and E1 going there. But I think they could have done it here, because I don't know when you do it again. Because at any other pay-per-view of the year, I think for sure you could argue that you could do Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm as your main event of a pay-per-view. But I don't think All In Texas is anything except the John Moxley losing that title. I think that's, if you don't end All In with that happening, I don't know what the fuck the company is doing. I just don't know. I just don't know what you're doing if you're not going to end with Moxley losing the belt to, in my opinion, Will Ospreay, and then Will Ospreay is defending that title at Forbidden Door, London. To me, that's the no-brainer. I don't know what else we're doing here. All right, so, oops, this little piece here. I'm confused about this. This goes like this. This has to go in like here with back, and then it flips over or slides down. This is confusing. I am not fully confident I know what this wants from me. It doesn't want to look like that. I don't know. Apologize. Confused here. I can see if I can look at this side skirt and see how that's supposed to look. Okay. All right, yeah, all right, so. I think. Let me look ahead to see, does anything sit on these side skirts? Anything clip in on these side skirts? No, nothing seems to clip on these side skirts. Well, then I don't know. Sorry, everybody. Run into some issues here. I know there's a sticker that goes on, but yeah, okay, so this goes like this, and this goes in on this side. Like this. Then it's kind of, it looks like it flips over. All right, I think that's how it's supposed to go on. And then it would slide in like this. Okay, yeah, I think that's how it's supposed to go. And I got to put a little sticker on there. All right. I think I figured this out. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, that. One thing about these two kits, that both this and the Zaku from this show, I think the instructions left a lot to be desired. All right, and then I got to do stickers 5 and unbelievably small stickers. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. That's incredibly tiny and no way anybody would see it, so I am not worried about that sticker. All right, we can panel line this. That's just such an incredibly tiny stickers that I am not going to worry about that because I would be stressing about it, and I don't need to. I'm too blessed to be stressed, everybody. Couldn't be me. So let's just panel line this, do around the butt here. Anyway, that's we'll talk more about Double or Nothing on Saturday and do a full recap on Monday. You know how it is. There should be some good stuff. Let's see what we got here. We got some new stuff to chat with you about. Embracer. Some Embracer news. They are spinning off Coffee Stain Group. I'm dropping some kilobytes there. So sorry about that. Had a big drop there. That's a shame. That's annoying. Apologize for that. Don't love that. Had that the other day too. I should do a clean, full refresh of the router. Really, like flush the router. That would be good. Should probably do that. I'm gonna have some connection issues there. So apparently, you may remember that they split up all their businesses into 3 factions, including the tabletop one, which was where they were making most of their money. But apparently, they're going to be splitting their businesses into 3 standalone entities, and all publicly listed companies. Last year, they ended a period with closures and layoffs. And they were going to do Asmodee, which is the group, Coffee Stain and Friends, and Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends. So Middle Earth is all of the Middle Earth, all of the, all that licensing stuff, all the Lord of the Rings stuff they have. Coffee Stain and Friends was going to be all of their gaming stuff that isn't Lord of the Rings, and then Asmodee was their most profitable thing, which was the tabletop stuff, because they actually made product and sold those products and made a profit. They had already carved that out, and then also gave it a bunch of debt. Asmodee is saddled with a lot of the debt from Embracer, because they are the ones most likely to be able to pay out off those debts, because they are the ones that are success. So now Coffee Stain Group is going to be spun out, and it has a new name called Fellowship Entertain. Oh, sorry. The new name, the final thing, is not going to be Middle Earth Enterprises. It's going to be Fellowship Entertainment, which does sound like a better name, I guess. Coffee Stain Group is going to be spun off. They got rid of the and Friends. Shares of it will be going out to Embracer shareholders. They say a bunch of dumb bullshit. Coffee Stain Group has 250 developers and publishers, such as Coffee Stain, Ghost Ship, and Tuxedo Labs. So that's everything from Goat Simulator to Satisfactory, Teardown, Deep Rock Galactic, like a bunch of games under that umbrella because of all the acquisitions, the many acquisitions. And then Fellowship has 4A Games, Aspire Media, Crazy Labs, Crystal Dynamics, Dark Horse, the comic book company. That's right, they're under that. THQ Nordic, Middle Earth Enterprises, Milestone, Vertigo Games, Tripwire Interactive, and a bunch of other companies. And there was nothing to say about Asmodee in this, but we hope. I mean, obviously, Asmodee was the moneymaker, but they are going to be running into some issues because of tariffs. They will run into some board game issues, I am sure, because they don't, they got to get them from one place to another place. So that's going to be rough for them. Good luck to those folks. Good luck to everybody on that. I want to talk about this because this fucking rules. This is like fucking cool shit in action. So, in Riyadh, there is a esports World Cup. It is continued sports washing of and entertainment washing of the Saudi government. You see it in sports all over the world, unfortunately. All kinds of different sports, including WWE and boxing, the world of professional boxing, MMA, all kinds of stuff. They put their money in stuff. There's investment in a lot of video game companies as well. So they were going to do an esports tournament. They are. And one of the games that was going to be part of this was GeoGuessr. But they aren't anymore. They listened to their community. Riot, Blizzard, a bunch of other game makers are going to be part of that. But there was a revolt from a bunch of their, not from users per se, but specifically from people that make maps, the map marker people, the people that make, like, including some of the most popular. And they said, like, yeah, we're not going to stand for this. Like, what are we doing here? No, they basically went on strike saying, like, no, we don't support this. We like this game, but we're not going to stand by and let this happen. It was a revolt. And so the CEO of GeoGuessr said, you, our community, have made it clear that this decision does not align what GeoGuessr stands for. And a reminder, GeoGuessr, there's no E in it between the S's and the R. It's G-U-E-S-S-R, because, vowel. You can remove vowels. It's cool. So this is Daniel Antle. Said, I've seen your reactions over the past few days regarding our decisions to participate in the Esports World Cup in Riyadh. When we made that decision, it was with positive intentions to engage with our community in the Middle East and to spread GeoGuessr's core mission of letting everybody explore the world. That said, our community, made it clear that this decision does not align with what GeoGuessr stands for. So when you tell us we got it wrong, we take it seriously. That's why we made the decision to withdraw from participating in the Esports World Cup in Riyadh. Gears' retreat comes in the face of an uproar among fans after it revealed it would be joining the competition gaming scheduled to take place over the summer. We, the creators, consider a share of GeoGuessr's most popular maps, have decided to take our maps unplayable in protest of GeoGuessr AB's decision to host a World Championship wildcard tourney at the Esports World Cup. This is the EWC is a sports washing tool used by the government of Saudi Arabia to distract from and conceal its horrific human rights record. And just to explain a little bit about this, because this is not something I've done, because would be terrible at it, and I've never streamed it. But here's the thing. I don't think I would be funny bad at GeoGuessr. I think I would be boringly bad at GeoGuessr, so we haven't explored it on the channel. But you can find it. It's popular on there. GeoGuessr uses data from Google to test its players' geographical knowledge, but relies in large part on community maps to funnel all that information to locations and content for duels that are more interesting to play and watch. Many fans signed on to the map makers boycott with support for the blackout spreading through GeoGuessr Discord, even as big prize pools in Saudi Arabia tried to lure the game's top competitors. Because obviously, they were going to have they got money, they're going to put that money out there to try to get people in the community. And I'm not saying everyone in the community, but a lot of the map makers were like, hey, that makes me feel fucking terrible. So how about I don't take part? And of course, they feature $70 million prize pool and lots of pageantry. And of course, one may remember that a lot of people who are going to go there are people, like live. They have to make sure that they are, not openly LGBTQ. And it's fucking rough business out there for a lot of this shit. Fuck them. There's a fun quote from a former caster for Overwatch League, Monte Cristo, Christopher Milks, Michaelis, sorry, says, imagine the one dev with the balls to stand up to Saudi is GeoGuessr. Time for Riot, Blizzard, EA, and Epic to follow suit. Yeah. Which I agree. I think fucking sucks shit and they shouldn't do it. In the same way, today it was announced that despite previous announcements that that WrestleMania will not be going to New Orleans next year. It will not be in New Orleans. A future one will be, but not in 2026. Also, they're getting a Money in the Bank next year. Now, it sounds like that they are going to go back to Vegas. They're going to do back-to-back Vegas shows. That's what it sounds like. We don't know for sure. But when this announcement came out and they didn't say what it was, people immediately assumed, well, they wouldn't cancel on New Orleans unless it's for a lot of money. It must be that they're going to Saudi Arabia, because reportedly Saudi Arabia gives WWE $50 million for each pay-per-view. They're giving a little bit more for another one, which we'll talk about in a second. That is, again, reportedly due to tax information and all that they get a lot of fucking money to do that. So people just assumed, they're going to do WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, which is like, then I don't get to watch WrestleMania. That sucks. Because that's the thing. I'm not going to watch that. It sounds like that's not the case, and instead it'll be in Vegas, but we do know that the Royal Rumble will emanate from Saudi Arabia. And that's going to be the first time I don't watch a Royal Rumble live since I started watching wrestling. I'm fucking bummed about it. I love the Royal Rumble. It's one of my favorite wrestling shows of all, of the year. It is a show that I watch even if I'm not currently caught up on WWE product. I'm still always interested in finding out what's going on with the Rumble, because it's always just a fucking great show, especially when they added the Women's Rumble, and just like fucking cool as shit. And God, it just occurred to me, the Women's Rumble is going to be like, there's going to be just 30 women in bodysuits, like wrist to ankles bodysuits. Wow, it's going to be weird photos of that. It's wild. It had not occurred to me. That is the case. Ugh. Our backpack here is almost done, and I'll panel line that, and we'll keep talking about stuff. Things and things. If you have Xbox Game Pass, a lot of cool shit is coming to you. In the second half of May here, bunch of stuff. Monster Train 2, Tales of Kenzria, Zao, Tom Clancy's The Division 2, To a T. It's 28. That's day and date. That the game To a T, which I'm really looking forward to. That's coming out. On the day it comes out. Metaphor ReFantazio, Spray Paint Simulator, which I guess is coming out May 29th because it's going to be on that. I don't think I'm buying that game because every time I think about the demo, I just go, I didn't really like that demo. So I don't expect to be picking that up. But I just really love that demo. Crypt Custodian and Symphonia are all coming out there. Monster Train 2 is out. That's already out now on Game Pass. So, and then To a T, excited about that. That one looks very cool and fun. I've heard good things about Crypt Custodian, so I wouldn't mind checking that out. And of course, I should say a reminder, of course, that there is an ongoing boycott of Microsoft because the company at large helps Israel quite a bit, and it would be nice if they fucking didn't. So there is currently a they're dealing with the Israeli military, and there is a active boycott going on with Xbox, and everybody makes their own decisions about how they choose to interact with those things. But I am just reminding y'all, I'm not making judgment calls, I'm not making demands, just reminding you that there is that is in action. I will say this. Speaking of Xbox, there is a new app that is available for Game Pass. As a member to all Game Pass core members, where you can play 50 retro Activision games in the cloud. It's because it's powered by AntStream Arcade, which we talked about, I believe, last year. So if you want to stream stuttery messes of old games, you could do this. You may be able to tell by the tone of my voice that I don't recommend it, because everyone I know who has tried this out thinks it's bad. In the app, Kaboom, Pitfall 2, River Raid, Grand Prix, Commando, Barnstorming, Fishing Derby, MechWarrior 2, Freddy Fracas Frontier Pharmacist is also available, which is the best name of a Atari game on this list. And they're going to add more Atari and Blizzard games to the app in the future. But yeah, it's not a good service. The Ant Stream is not good. So that's not great to hear, unfortunately. Hey, you can play Fortnite on your iPad again. You can buy it in the App Store if you've been missing out. Lordcraft says, I'm glad we finally have a way to play Atari 2600 games on an Xbox. Indeed, finally. And on the PC through the same thing. Finally, you can play 2600 games on your PC. Never been possible before. All right, I'm gonna panel line this. Our cool backpack. I do like the look of this backpack. It's very good. We'll clean that up. So yeah, Fortnite is back on the App Store in the US on iPhones and iPads, and on Epic Game Store and Alt Store in the EU. It'll show up on search soon. So that's the first time in 5 years that you can play Fortnite on your iPad. So it happened. And yeah, Apple approved it, which people were expecting to do it. I really like the look of this backpack. Sorry. I don't really have much to say about it other than, if you want to get your Fortnite on, you can. You can do that. All right, I got to put on... this piece is for the chain gun, the shoulder chain gun, which rules. Big fan of that. So we got to do that. I need D17 and D15. Kind of small pieces here. We'll get them on. 17 and D15. So let's see. Fortnite says we returned to the App Store in the United States, and both Apple and Epic filed a joint notice to confirm they have resolved all issues from the previous filing. So everybody's cool now. Also, if you play Fortnite in Japan, it looks like that's coming. So you'll be able to watch your Fortnites in Japan pretty soon. Don't stress about it. It's cool. If that's the thing that you were like, oh, but I'm in Japan, I want to play Fortnite. It's coming on my iOS device. It's almost there. All right. I think I have assembled this properly. And I gotta get A42. We got a rubber piece coming up. I'm sure you're all super stoked to find out where this rubber piece goes. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's see. Other news we can talk about here. We unfortunately do have some layoffs. It's been a quiet couple of weeks here on the layoff front, but they are coming in. This is from Wooga, Wooga, the studio what brings you Playtika. Laid off around 50 staff following the cancellation of a project and a move to a new office. They moved to a new office in Berlin. It's a Berlin-based studio. Sorry, let me just get this figured out here. There we go. And then this feeds in here. Okay, we can panel line that since I just put in there. Around 50 staff said they lost their jobs. A figure backed up by social media posts on LinkedIn and the current former staff. This is from a pocketgamers.biz article. Impacted roles include artists, analysts, designers, and producers. Studio declined to comment when reached out to by both Pocket Gamers and GameDeveloper.com. One of the artists said, statement, yesterday was a really very sad day. Wooga parted with so many wonderful and talented people. It's heartbreaking. And a bunch of other people there. So, as you might have read about it, there was a layoff at Wooga. One of the reasons behind the cancellation of project. That was a project I was allocated in and was a consequence of that. My contract and also all other contractors are ceased to be. At least 7 other developers mentioned it on there. And last year, they laid off like about 400 people, it sounds like. No exact numbers there, but a plethora of people, unfortunately. All right, we got our one rubber piece in here. Why is this piece made of rubber? I don't know. It is for the machine gun, and it is rubber. Be careful how I clip it out, because I could cut right through it if I'm not careful. But luckily, I am careful occasionally. So this piece is rubber. All right, so put that there. We'll get D16. It's over here. Well, didn't come out. There it is. Let's see. Is there anything else from this? Mobile publisher cut about 300 to 400 jobs last year. It also laid off about 600 workers in December 22nd, or December 2022, I should say. And then also, in 2024, they did acquire another studio. So this is probably trying to make money for what their acquisition. Yeah. Now, did I talk about this story just because it was layoffs? No. Did I talk about the story just because it had the name of a company called Wooga, which was interesting to say? No, that's not the only reason. It's both those reasons. I did it for both those reasons. One last gaming story here, because there were a few gaming stories this week. Apparently, the folks behind Claire Obscure Expedition 33 Moonless set. Oh, that's the name of this thing. So basically, there is a sorry, okay. I apologize. I was reading this, trying to make sure. They had a collector's edition, right? It sold out really quickly. People were fucking psyched about it, and then resellers have been selling it for an insane amount of money online, and it's been a whole to-do. And they were like, "Fine, we'll make more. We'll make more of them." So they're going to do something called the Moonlit set, which essentially is everything from the original collector's edition without the physical game. Because the idea is that, well, just buy it digitally. But if you want the art book and soundtrack, you can get that. Includes all physical merch from the collector's edition without the base game and downloadable cosmetics. Okay, so you do lose out on that. The Moonlit set will sell for $120, way cheaper than hundreds. Some fans are asking for it in order to part with their original collector's editions online right now. Which is just, that is the nice way of saying, hey, we're going to sell it for a lot cheaper than the fucking scalpers out there doing their dirty business. So, like, if you want this collector's edition so bad, just buy it from us. We'll make more. which, you know, a lot of companies, quote unquote, stick to their guns and they don't do more of what they allocated. So, I mean, it's good, I guess. All right. I got to feed this through like that. That goes there. Then we'll get the gun back over here. And then that goes like this. Wait. Handle with care. Rare. There it goes like that. There it goes. Okay. Got that together. And then I need this. Pieces there. All right. So yeah, pre-orders go live on May 23rd. And then they said limit to two per person. So that's tomorrow to help with scalpers. And they're going to sell them until the 20. Also, probably the U.S. customers are going to have an import duty on it. Probably. So, you know, which is rough, but probably they're going to have to pay more. But that is I will say this. It's not a perfect solution, but it is an attempt to help people out. Because, you know, the studio definitely doesn't want to hear all this, like, people are just like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm just not going to get this because of this, and this, and scalpers and all that. Because it's like, that's not the company, that's just people doing it. But that is a solution to be like, oh yeah, well, we can make more, and so we're going to make more, is, I think, a nice solution. And they make more money. People win that way, I guess. All right, let's get this together here. There it goes. And then this looks like this. And then I add in this over here, which is A40 and A41. Which I guess you would say this is where the all of the bullets are kept in here. What we're doing with that? I guess because this has to move around some. That's why they decided they were going to do it in rubber. But a little unique. I'm not mad about it. I think that's cool. And then this goes into that. Feeds in there. Look at that. And then, oh, there's a piece that goes in to lock it in place. A43. So I will have a stream on Saturday as normal, as usual, and Monday and Tuesday, and, you know, the rest. No changes so far to this schedule. June, I will just say, kind of do a little housekeeping. June will be a little different than normal because there will be a few events that I have coming up. The Plastic Model Weekender at the end of the month will be on the Plastic Model Weekender channel. I don't know when that's going to be, but basically, I'll probably take a Thursday or a Saturday off that week, depending on when I get booked, because I don't know when I'll be booked. If I get booked on a Thursday or Saturday, then that makes sense. If I get booked on a Friday or a Sunday, then I will probably take, like, if I get Friday, I'll probably take that Thursday off. Or maybe I'll take that Saturday off. I'll probably end up taking that Saturday, you know, depending on what it is. Because maybe I would want to stream on Thursday so that we can raid, and then also so I can take a day off. But yeah, basically, I don't know what my schedule is going to be for that. As far as other stuff goes, as I try to get this thing connected here. As far as other stream goes, I am right now in conversations to guest on a few things in June. Can't lock any of those down right now. Okay, is this how it goes? Boy, I can't for the life of me figure out this kit sometimes. Where do you go? How do you work? All right, so let's look at the end. At the end, this is going to go this. Oh, it goes like this. Okay. So it looks like that at the end. Can't do it like this yet because I got to put this in here. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to try to do some guest spots in to promote Plastic Model Weekender on some channels. So I'm hopefully going to make some appearances, some places. I'm going to be reaching out to the usual folks and maybe a few folks that are not that usual. Places I've guested before. Perhaps a certain company that might have been a little bit less likely to have guests on their channel might be more inclined to have guests on their channel right now. They might be a little more open to having some guests. Again, no guarantees or anything like that. I am not saying these are confirmed things. I am saying that I am going to be trying to make some appearances to promote Plastic Model Weekender, and also, while I'm at it, of course, promoting my birthday stream, June 20th, a Friday. I will be doing a stream 3:30 p.m. Eastern until probably 7:30 p.m. Eastern, but no set end date, but that's probably when it'll end. This 4 hours is kind of my limit for streams. This is fucking infuriating. I'm having a bad time right now trying to get this together. Because this needs to go in here. And then this piece, I feel like this should have been done first and then the rest of this, but whatever. This got to go in there, and then this has to go like this. But as I do it, yes, okay, it locked in place. Great. All right, I got it together. And then there's one more piece to go on here, and then I'll panel line all this and then put it on. But yeah, June 20th will be my birthday stream. Very excited for that. I hope you'll come and hang out for that with me. I have to blow my nose. Excuse me. I have sort of figured out a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing on that stream. There will be some karaoke. I'm going to do, sorry, not karaoke, sing-along. Instead of doing karaoke this time around, I'm going to do a sing-along. So it'll all be songs that have their regular vocals, but lyrics on the screen. And then, so I can sing along, and then you at home can sing along. And it will be anime stuff. It will be I think all anime, either opening or closing themes that are fully in English, or it'll be the English version of it, or like an insert song. And I have quite a few to pick from for that. One of which was done, lyric video was done by the artist, who the song is in Japanese, it appears in the anime is in Japanese and English, but she has done a full English version. So I'm going to do that. I will tell you this, we'll peek behind the curtain here. I did heavily consider doing a song that is a mix of English and Japanese. I am so not confident in my Japanese pronunciation. To add in the stress of singing and also doing it in front of an audience, I did consider it. Ooh, this moves. That's cool. I did consider it, but in the end decided against singing Ride on Shooting Star by the Pillows from FLCL. I love that song. I'm fairly confident that I could do the chorus of it, but the verses are definitely enough of a challenge that I was like, I don't think I'm gonna try this. But we'll have some anime songs. That'll be fun. Of course, that's if we get enough subscribers to unlock it. Who knows? Also be doing making myself in WW2K25, which I have not done yet. So I'll make myself in the game, and that'll be good. And yeah, I don't know. There'll be a few other things and things. And then, as always, like Hearthstone, when I get up to go eat, I'll play some old commercials and such for video games, grab some stuff and have that ready to go. And then if I hit 90 subscribers, which is my birthday times 2, my birth date times 2, you know, or age times 2. If I hit that many subscribers, then I will drink half milk, half Monster Energy drink, better known to many as Monster Milk. Bringing back the Monster Milk Challenge. Do I want to drink Monster Milk? Not really. Do I want to have 90 subscribers? Yes. Do it right? Yes. Do I even want to drink an energy drink in 2025? Not really. I don't really like them. But that's you know, doing what I gotta do. All right, so here's our gun. It lives there. Then it pops down on here, which is just, look at that. That's so fucking cool. Little shoulder-mounted machine gun with all of the bullets conveniently right behind the head of the kit, which seems ill-advised. Yeah, that's cool. And then, yeah, this makes sense. This is rubber because it's bending at a weird angle. So we got that. We got our shoulder-mounted gun. We do need to build the rest of this backpack here, which we will do after the second hour, which is the other shoulder has missiles. It's not missiles. It's the beam holders. The beam holders on the shoulder. And it's fine to pilot as the center of the suit next to the nuclear reactor. Indeed. But yes, no. Shoulder mounted, and then in a very cool decision, the beam sabers live on the shoulders. That is a cool idea, just in there, and then you can reach back and pull them out. It would be cool if this was a missile launcher, but no, it's where the beam sabers go. All right, we're going to take a pause for the cause. I'll come back and talk about some anime and continue to work on this. There's not a lot of here tonight, which is okay. That fucking happens. Sometimes it's a down night. But the folks that are here are all subscribers. So I am not going to go through the whole spiel. I'm going to do a truncated spiel for you. A reminder that currently there is a promotion on there. If you want to gift some subs or become a subscriber to some channels, you can get Crunchyroll for 30 days. That goes through this week. I just want you to know about it because that's a cool promotion. If you want to gift a sub to the community, you could do that. Why don't we throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, tier 2 blue emote in chat if you're a subscriber. Always nice to see those emotes. So if you want to throw those emotes in the chat, you can do that. Let's see. Is there anything else that we want to say? Again, I'm going to go through this very quickly. The next thing I'm going to be working on is something from my Amazon wish list. I got something from the Amazon wish list recently. You should check out my wish list, see if there's something there you'd like to see me put together on stream. My birthday is next month. If you want to buy me a birthday present, I got Lego sets, model kits, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits. I did want to point out a recent addition to the list that I thought was pretty neat. Let's see if I can find it so I can tell you the full name of it. Fairly recently, I added the Humbriba from Z Gundam, and that's a cool looking weird kit, and I recently added that to the wish list. And I recently added a cute Lego set, the Animal Crossing Julian's birthday party. I have never done anything with Animal Crossing on this channel except for that very bad jigsaw puzzle that I gave up on. So why don't we do a Lego set that's Animal Crossing themed? That sounds cute and fun. So yeah, if you like something, you want to build something or buy something for me to build, you could do that. let's see. Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, you're probably in the Discord, but I'll still include it. All the links to the ways to support me will be in the show description of my VOD, and will also be in the yeah, they're in the chat here if you're watching later after the fact here on Twitch. But yeah, join the Discord. Love to have you there. A couple video links for you to check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. The current one right now, most recent one is me talking about bad plot reveals and character reveals, plot twists and character reveals that I think are terrible. I included that. And then the newest episode of Kuma Baer, which is my weekly anime recommendation series. Kaiji, a phenomenal series that I think gets forgotten a lot in the world of the early 2000s to mid 2000s to late 2000s anime world. I think Kaiji gets overlooked because the characters are very harsh and there's a lot of like lines to it. But if you like Squid Game and you like the tension of these life or death scenarios and people just trying to figure their shit out, and you wished that more characters in that game were addicted to gambling, or in that show, then you need to watch Kaiji, because that shit respects gamblers no matter what. It respects the people who put their lives on the lines for the gamble. Kaiji fucking rules. It's so tension-ridden of a series that eases that tension with some comedy. It understands what it's doing. The mangaka behind Kaiji has made, I believe, 7 manga about gambling. So he says he's not a gambler, but he's got the heart of one. But yeah, you should check that out. That's doing well for me. That's views-wise, doing good. For one day, it's like 400 views. Excited about that. Nice. Number go up sometime. Sometime number go up. Not always number go up, but sometime number go up. So, it's nice. Nice to see when we can. We're going to talk about some anime here in a moment. I want to see if there's any other thing that I wanted to say, because again, this was the truncated of me talking about ways to support me, because there's not a lot of you here tonight, and it's okay. And most of the people that are here watching are already subscribers, so you don't need to hear from me about all the ways you can support what I do here. Is there anything else I want to put in there? I don't know. USA Gundam Store. Support a local business. Buy me a gift card. Then you get a gift card code in your email. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch, or a personal DM message on Mastodon or Blue Sky or Twitter, X as they say. You can do that as well. Let's see. Is there any requests here? This is where I look to see. Somebody wants me to, I have been invited to join a ambitious cryptocurrency team led by Professor Anthony, a well-known cryptocurrency analyst from Manhattan. I, of course, want to go to this WhatsApp to learn more about Professor Anthony. I almost called him Dr. Anthony. That's such a mistake on my part. I can't believe I almost made that mistake. My apologies, everybody. But yeah, I really want to know what's going on with Professor Anthony from Manhattan. Is really interested in me joining his team. Very fun. All right. So I'm going to talk about some anime. We'll talk about stuff we're up to, some video game stuff and the like, and other things. I'm sure I'll hear from you about things. We'll chat more. Before I do all that, I do need to drink some water, and we need to dramatically transition to the overhead camera, which we will do right now. All right. Over at camera here, we're going to finish off the last part we need to do for the backpack here, our beam saber holder. So we will get that together with E13. and then A34. And as I'm doing this, I will talk about this week's episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, GQuuuuuuX, and also Once Upon a Witch's Death. Oh, fucking tense-ass episode. This show is like, the last week's episode was like kind of fun, and this week's episode is like, fuck you. Fuck you. Shit's gonna get dark and messed up. But anyway, before that, so there's a lot of military and stuff because a reminder, there were a lot of shit was going down. Side 6, the authority figures or cops are getting involved in stuff. Kycilia is there, and there are multiple people trying to target her life, but now she's there. And she's meeting with representatives about trying to fund a solar ray project, the capital S, capital R solar ray project. But she's just like, there's a lot of military police around here. What's going on? Nyan is piloting the GQuuuuuuX and has joined Suji to fight against Gates and Dukes, which we met last episode. And one of them is in the Psycho Gundam, because remember, they are, so the Psycho Gundam is there, mobile armor. That thing looks cool. It is probably the thing I think looks best in this show, because I don't love all of the designs, but I think that design looked pretty all right. I do not like saying Psycho Frame or Psycho Gundam. I'm not a big fan of using that terminology for something like just a fucking mobile suit in a Japanese anime, but what are you gonna do? The cyber new types are trying to kill Kycilia. Amate tries to steal the prize money. Just trying to steal some money. But she gets called out. It's like, hey, this isn't the fucking time or place for this. What are you doing? So she kind of abandons that and runs away. Nyan is just like, hey, actually, fuck all this. Let's fuck up this plan. Forget Amate. Let's go. Suji, come with me. Let's just get the fuck out of here. The Red Gundam does another of its energy blast things, the things, and then disappears. Was surprised Machu didn't say anything about how they sold her out. Yes, you'd think that might come up, but it didn't. Maybe we'll get that later, because it's only episode 7, Lashbrook. Maybe we'll get that later. And then Suji, so Suji is gone as well, disappears. So that didn't go great. Javier defends Kycilia from Gates and Dukes. And then the cyber new types get killed with the Kikiroga. Amate gets labeled as a fugitive. From side 6, they're just like, hey, we got to deal with this person, which is like, and tries to get away in the GQuuuuuuX, which is starting to respond to her, and is starting to vibe right with her until she does get attacked and subdued by Chalia, who then takes her and the GQuuuuuuX into custody, and then, of course, the continued planning of trying to kill Kycilia, but also that's like maybe to stop a civil war, but maybe it won't actually prevent the civil war. And there's a lot of tenseness and a lot of maybe people are going to do some stuff here. And then it ends with Javier, or Xavier, it's not Javier. I always want to say Javier, Xavier, finding Nyan and is like, hey, you should work with me. Now, will we see Neon and like Amate on opposing sides in the future? Possibly. Will we see them reunite and team up to continue doing their thing? Maybe. Are we gonna see characters from Gundam, the original Gundam, more mainline characters from the original Gundam showing up in the show? I imagine so. One could make the assumption that some of these characters we might see some of them. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there'll be more new characters popping in and out. I don't know. I'm not sure. Gundam characters in the Gundam show? I know, right? Gundam characters making wild appearances in various places. There are so many characters I haven't even talked about. Like, there's so many people on the Soden that I'm like, is that someone I'm supposed to remember? Like, and I'm like, I think I am. I think I'm supposed to remember who, like, no, I know who Ratset is, but I'm like, am I supposed to remember who Sepha is? Like, I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure I don't remember. There's like a Harcourt, and I'm like, yeah, I do know who that is. I think I know who that is, but I'm like, maybe I don't know who that is. Like I said, this show, I'm not super vibing with it. I think the art style and the character design of the mobile suits really just doesn't sit with me. But I also think that, like, how well do you remember Zeta? Here's the problem, Lashbrook. I don't really remember Zeta. And so I think there's a lot of characters that, like, if I remembered Zeta really well, I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah. But instead, I'm like, is that a new character? Is that a reference? Did I see? Like, yeah, I just don't really remember Zeta. And maybe that's part of why I'm not vibing with it, because I'm not all the time having that, like, I'm not doing the point at the screen thing. They've been pulling a lot of Zeta stuff. Like, I remember cyber new types. Don't get me wrong. I do remember cyber new types. I know who those fuckers are. But I'm not doing the Leo DiCaprio pointing at the screen thing. Like, that's just not, unfortunately, that's just not happening with me. I would like that to be the case, but it's not. It's not the case. Yeah, it's not hitting. I wish it was. I still think it's good. It's just not hitting me as hard as I would like it to hit me. I would like to be hit over the head with how good this is. And instead I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I like it. I just don't love it. And I am disappointed that I don't love it. I think it would be great if I did love it. So I guess I am a little bummed that I'm not, like, fully vibe with it. Again, only episode 7. I like it. I just, I'm not in love with the show. Episode 8 of Once Upon a Witch's Death. Now, the 7th episode was a little bittersweet. It was kind of like the point where, like, we did have this thing where Meg was told, like, yeah, hey, if you lift this curse, there will be consequences. Which is, like, a wild thing to say to somebody who's trying to prevent her own death. But, it is what it is. She's still way off from collecting enough tears that she needs at this point in episode 8 because of this Planet Core project that has taken over a lot of people's time and energy, but seems like very important for the world of magic to, like, figure this shit out. So it's priorities. So she hasn't been able to collect tears. Meg runs into this girl named Mary and finds a magic scar on her. And she's just like, oh, that's someone I should help. And like, yeah, does she want the tear? Of course. But she's like, that's a person I could help. And her master Faust is like, you don't want to get involved with that. That's not someone you should help. Because there is a magical fanatic that's clearly someone who is trying to sacrifice that girl to eat for evil, like to a demon. That is the mark of someone who is meant to be a sacrifice. That is over. You're going to get in over your head if you try to help this person, because it's just too dangerous. Meg doesn't really give up on this. She still wants to help, and she finds out that this girl Mary's mother, Jill, also has the same scar. So the father, Mary's father, is the person who is planning to sacrifice his own wife and daughter. Jill, Ted, and Mary. So basically, she's not supposed to help. Meg sneaks into to Faust's library to do research and finds out, okay, well, there's got to be a temple. If I can disrupt the temple, then I can prevent these from happening. Because there's got to be an altar, so I got to disrupt it. So she wants to destroy it. And apparently, this devil is aware of what's happening. The devil knows this is happening, but Meg decides not to give up. Finds out that there's a secret basement, but she gets hit. She gets hit and knocked out. Her magic does not help her avoid getting knocked the fuck out, unfortunately. Because, to get even more power, our man Ted here is also going to sacrifice Meg to this demon. Now, I guess I should say that Ted does do a monologue because his life sucks and he's going to get a lot of power and everything will be fixed if he has power, because power and means that he will have opportunities and things will just be fucking better for him. And it's like, all right, dude, well, you do have a wife and a kid, and I know life isn't going great for you, but like making a deal with the devil seems real bad and foolish, my guy. Like that just doesn't go well for people, but sure, all right. He's a fanatic. What are you going to do? And also he's not even looking for like wealth and power. He's looking for revenge on people that he doesn't like. And it's just like, all right, my guy. Yeah, I guess, dude. We got our beam saber here. We got our not particularly. I don't love these pink. I don't. Pink is not my favorite color for a beam saber, but whatever. Put like that. Okay, put that there. All right, great. All right, all we've got left is our shield and our gun. Got the gun on there. We got the shield. Now we got to build our weapon here. But luckily, Faust shows up. She was tracking Meg, which is great. And we get to see some cool magic, but we see the cost because unbelievable magic does have a cost. Because Faust banishes the demon and also Ted to fucking hell, clearly to hell. But she loses a thumb in the process. She has to give up her thumb in order to cast that magic because giant, incredible magic like that, like I said, has a real cost. And then Jill decides, hey, I'm going to take Mary with me, and we're going to leave this town because we're going to get a fresh start in a place where they don't know that what the fuck happened here. So they leave. No tears were shed. No tears were collected. And then Faust is just like, hey, you always need to try to do the right thing because there are more devils out there. And you will have to make more impossible choices going forward, and you got to be ready for it. So, like, I don't want to pretend like this show is a lightweight show. Like, I don't want to pretend like this show is chill, because it is a show about a girl who only has so much time left and has to like help people in order to collect tears so that she can beat this curse that will kill her by the time she turns 18. Like, I don't want to pretend like this show is a lightweight show, but it's been lighter than this shit, and this shit was pretty fucking heavy. This shit was pretty wildly heavy in a way that I was not expecting. I was like, oh, it's usually heavy in the way of like, this is a sad story and there's no happy ending here, but she's doing her best to kind of help people find closure or find some peace, like that kind of thing. But instead, it was like, yeah, man. Sometimes the devil fucking shows up, and people are like, I'm gonna help out this devil, and it sucks. It's a fucking bummer, and there's more devils out there. It's just like, oh, all right. But it was a good episode. I don't know. We'll see if things go. I'm not convinced that this show ends with Meg alive. Like, I'm just not fully convinced that she makes it out of this shit. Like, I don't know. There is the possibility that she doesn't fucking make it. And that's kind of wild. That she, like, uses the tears she's been collecting to solve a major problem, like this Planet Core project. Like, maybe she sacrifices all her tears to finish the project. And dies. I don't know. Or the curse... Or also, the curse could just be a fucking lie, and it could have been a thing that she, part of every witch's training is being told they're going to die in a year, so they learn more about magic and helping people. I don't know. Like, they could pull that shit. They could pull a real, I'm going to add this to my next batch of bad anime reveals videos. I don't know. Yeah, another episode next week. Let's see. Now is the part of the stream, friends, where I want to hear from you. What are you up to? What are you into? What are you watching right now? What do you got going on? Did you get up into anything this week? You got plans for the weekend? All that stuff. I want to hear from you about what you got going on. We're watching Double or Nothing on Sunday. I'm watching it on Amazon Prime through Amazon because Amazon, for whatever reason right now, doesn't charge tax on pay-per-views. So you could just buy it without having to pay tax on it, and promotional credits work towards that. So it cost me the least amount of money I've ever paid for a pay-per-view. So that rules. I'm happy about that. Sorry, it's gotta. Or does it want to have a different hand than this hand? Yeah, it wants me to use a different hand. Fine, I'll use a different hand. So I've got that coming up on Sunday. I'm excited for that. Currently, I am. I played a bunch of Nubby's Number Factory because there was the recent update pretty recently. Hearthstone, playing that every day. That's what I did on Tuesday. Thank you for everybody that came by on the stream on Tuesday for me playing that video game. I enjoy playing Hearthstone. So weird. That was a really fun stream, and I won a lot. I don't know how that happened. I don't ever expect to win Hearthstone while I am streaming. That is just not a thing I ever expect to happen. Is that I do well while there are people watching me, but I did pretty well. And I only got salty about one match where I had basically there was one bad outcome for a brawl, which clears randomizes and clears all but one minion from the board. There was one bad outcome for that, and unfortunately I did get that bad outcome. But I feel like I had a chance of winning that game other than that. So I got fucking salty there. Definitely got salty there. But for the most part, I was pretty fucking chill about that stream. Pretty relaxed and chill. It was a good time. And thank you to everybody that did tune in for that stream. I appreciate that because I, like to have people around for that kind of stuff. All right, all we have left is the shield. We got to build the shield, and then we got some stickers to put on the shield as well. But this is, I just believe, 2 parts here. It's not too involved. We could have that hold the shield. I think I'm just going to put the shield on it. And we'll do it like that. But yeah, if you've been up to anything, you got anything going on, you can always let me know. I love hearing from you about those things and things. Let's see. Anything else going on with me? Tomorrow, I have a meeting where I only have to listen in. I just have to be at the meeting. I don't have to talk at the meeting or anything like that, which is my favorite kind of meeting. So I'll be doing that while also hanging out in the Jeff Gersman Discord and doing all that. So that's tomorrow. Saturday, I believe, obviously, it's Saturday night stream. Don't you fucking worry about that shit. Got to stream Saturday night. But also during the day, I'm going to wash the windows outside. We're doing our spring cleaning now. I talked about that, I think, already. But I'm going to get out there and doing that. Do all of the windows that you can't reach from the inside of the house. Because there are windows you can't reach from the inside of the house. So those need to get done. I'm just the man to do it. So I'll be doing that. Getting on a couple different ladders depending on where I am in the house. Making that happen. Getting that together. That'll be fine. I gotta apply some stickers here. These are our last stickers other than the optional ones, which we will put a few on here and there. But yeah, so I'll be doing that. I believe Sunday in the afternoon before wrestling, I will be doing a session with the various folks that I do some gaming with. The collective that I belong to. I believe we'll be hanging out in the that and playing some stuff. I think yes, I've joined a Fiasco game. That's right. I couldn't remember. But yes, I'll be involved in a Fiasco game, playing a character I play quite often, and a couple of the people, there's a few people I don't regularly play with, and then a person that I often play with, and I'm very excited about that, and the person running it I'm very familiar with as well. And so that should be fun. That'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I think okay. Yeah, so I will have to take this off. Just leave this near it. Because this is the only way to put this on is to hold it. I thought this locked in on the side. It doesn't. It's got to be held, which is fine. We'll have it hold it. Like that. A nice shield here. And then we will put this on like that. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. It is a cool looking shield. And we'll panel line the shield. I'm going to read what y'all been writing in the chat. Hello. Let me see what y'all been writing. Lastwork says, I've been watching Mission Impossibles in prep for the new one. Oh, that's right. There is a new Mission Impossible coming out. Cool. Gotten through the first 4. Still hate how much 3 is the response to Jason Bourne. Yep. Also been playing American Truck Simulator after Nextlander streamed it to chill out. Nice. Getting back into that. Hell yeah. And then Lord Crashington says, I got Cookie Clicker for PS5, which is pretty good for some control issues. With some controls, this is cursor based with no real shortcuts. Yeah, I can see that not really translating to controller. No accessibility options to increase text size or anything like that either. Since it's a clicker game with no idle elements, it feels very dumb to just leave it on while I'm doing other stuff, so I keep the cookies building up. Yeah, I would say, Lord Crashington, that's not the great place to play that game, in my opinion. Like, not having it a mouse, having it be on PS5, like having your PS5 and a TV on all the time. I don't want to say you made a bad purchase, but I think you made a suboptimal purchase. Like, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I mean, it happens. We do it. It's not just you. I'm not saying you're the first person to ever do this, and I've never heard of that before. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that worked out great for you. My condolences. Is there any other gaming stuff that I've been doing? I don't know. I'm reading I'm reading some manhwa. I picked up a couple new manhwa, a couple of South Korean comics. Maybe you'll be proud of me, or maybe you'll be surprised to find out that you have over 3,000 hours on the PC version, so it's not like it was one or the other for me. Yeah, Lord Crashes, and yeah, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like PS5 is the kind of a weird place to do that. What should I say? So let's see. So we got to put this piece on like here. I should make it clear that what was I about to... Damn it. I lost my train of thought. I was going to talk about something. That a game I was playing. Oh, then I'm reading some manhwa. I'm reading some manhwa. Trying to get through some stuff here. This is what I was going to say. I had to pull back my brain there. Sorry. I had to run that back, and now I can say. You may be surprised to know that I did not write into the Nextlander podcast when they talked about anime, because they were talking about how Claire Obscura is a French RPG. Can a studio outside of Japan make a JRPG? And saying like, well, is anime? Can they make anime outside of it? You may have thought that, Pat, you must have emailed in to be like, actually, and the answer is no, I didn't. I held back. I held back from talking about anime and how, well, it depends on if you want to define anime as lowercase a anime, which is just the Japanese word for animation, and therefore Disney, King of the Hill, any Saturday morning cartoon is an anime. Or if you want to use the capital A anime, and you're talking about the things that are produced in Japan, and some people would say anime is anything made in Japan primarily for a Japanese audience, which falls flat these days. But like To Be a Hero, which is on Crunchyroll, is a Chinese a bit of animation, so people wouldn't consider it to be anime. But Scott Pilgrim, which was written by Canadians and Americans, primarily for an international audience, but was animated by Science Saru, is an anime. And then also he did mention, and then I would also say, Radiant is a French manga. Radiant was produced in Japanese for a Japanese audience, but was made by a French creator. Just to throw back a little bit of the French stuff. So there is French manga. But I didn't send that email. I still might send that email, but I haven't yet. Because it came in the part of the episode that I got to late because I was doing other stuff. And so the most recent episode came out before I could send in an email going, well, hey, here's my thoughts, friends. So I didn't. We're gonna finish this stream off by throwing a bunch of stickers on this shit. So we got some stickers we can throw on here. I did forget my least favorite part of this kit, which is the shield is a weapon shield. Make sure it starts with, well, actually, yes. I don't love that this shield is so low that it's mostly for bashing and not for cover. I forgot that I don't like that about this, but yeah, because I don't like that about this kit, but I forgot that. But it's the only part of this kit I don't really like, because I think everything else is fucking cool as hell about this particular mobile suit. We'll just do it like this. But we can put in some stickers here. We got a lot of these red stickers. Am I going to put all of these red stickers on? No. Am I going to put some of these red stickers on? Yes. 5 is the first one I definitely am going to put on. Sticker 5. Again, these are marking stickers. Actually, yes. Well, actually is the thing you can say, and actually is a reference to the show, which you could make a reference to if you wanted to, but you don't have to. But you could. You don't have to. So marking stickers. We talked about this before on the other kit from this series. They are clear. You can see that they are stickers. They are easier to apply than dry transfers or water transfers, but on the downside, it's very noticeable. The clear parts of this are just incredibly noticeable. This thing loves to pop out. This thing loves to pop out. This loves to pop out. So there are some downsides to this kit. But again, reminder that this kit exists in a world without any polycaps, and therefore is still fucking really cool because it doesn't have polycaps, and that's awesome. We have that level of technology. So yeah, these are way easier to apply than any other kinds of stickers, but they do have the thing. On gray, it's not that noticeable, but on some colored plastic, it's very noticeable that this is just clear with, you know, the other parts of it. All right, and then what numbers we need here? 4 and 3. I'm not going to do all these, but I am going to do some of them because some of them are cool. Look at them. Whoop, where'd you go? There you are. This is so tiny. Go like right about here. Then a little, yeah, we'll put that there. I was going to finish off the stream by doing some of this, but yes, I didn't write in about that. I might still write in about that. I'm going to see if, because I haven't listened to all of the episode that went up today or late last night, if other people have written in and if Brad chose those emails. But if people haven't written in this week's podcast, then I'll say that. Okay, we'll say that. If they end the episode with Brad has not talked about anyone emailing about anime, then I will do it. I will do the work. But if someone has done at least somewhat decent job of explaining what's going on there, then I don't need to. 8 is a shoulder sticker. We'll put that on there. Where? No. Mm-hmm. No, I don't want to put that on. 7. 7 is what I want to put on. Yeah. 7 goes on here. It does look pretty neat. I will give it that. Lord Crash says, I played some of the TMNT Splintered Fate, which is a fun Hades-style roguelike where the turtles are trying to rescue Splinter from some dimension that the Foot Clan has trapped him in. It has a lot of the same kinds of tropes that Hades had, though the free DLC with Casey Jones kind of breaks the game a bit, as there are currencies for beating bosses with certain turtles, and there's no version of that for Casey. At least it's fun. Whoops. That's fine. If you heard that, it's fine. A thing fell. It's okay that it fell. At least it was full of references and nostalgia for a bunch of side characters and such. Nice. Yeah. I've heard good things about that. I'm going to be playing the other Turtles game. That is not that one. But yes, I have heard good things about that. Yeah, a thing fell that I'm going to have to deal with later. That I'm not excited about dealing with. Once the stream is over, I got to deal with a thing that fell. 2. Nope, that's not what I want to do. 10 or 12. Let's do 10. 12. Let's see. 18. Yeah, let's do these. Let's do those there. That's 18 is this one here. Yeah. 12. So you can kind of see on this one that this is like basically 3 stickers, but it's just as one sticker. So that's just going to go over here on the leg. And that's not bad. That looks kind of neat. That's pretty easy. Live show, folks. Indeed. Yeah, I have a big blanket that blocks in a lot of light that comes in on my window, and that has fallen and made a thump noise as it fell. That's okay, because it's dark out, so I don't need to block out the light that's coming in. But during the day, if I'm recording something or if I'm on a Zoom call or something like that, it's nice to have the sunlight be completely blocked out. Oops, that did not go on well, so we'll lift it up. Can I lift this up in a way that won't ruin everything? Let's find out. We can. We can reapply. Hooray! We'll add a few more stickers, then we'll wrap up the stream. We'll go on a raid. I'll watch some wrestling, the replay. It'll be fine. We'll have a good time. Let's see, are there any other stickers on here? What does sticker 20 look like? Sticker 20 is, oh, it's this. This just goes on here. Okay. This is just good practice for me. Kind of get used to applying this kind of stuff. Looking pretty good. Any other stickers I want to apply? We're going to look here. We got arm stickers. We got stickers that go on the back of the kit. I'm fine with not putting the back of the kit stickers on because we're not going to look at that. Let's see. These pieces here. That's 10 or 13, 11. Let's see, 13. What's sticker 13 look like? Sticker 13. There we go. This is the wrong. What? I don't think that's right. I don't know what this. I don't know where this sticker goes. This is like too long of a sticker to be what I thought it was. What's this? Is 2 pieces? Is this 2 pieces? It's not. This is all 1 piece, but I don't know where it goes. Looking at this, I'm like, okay, that's sticker 13. Oh, okay, it goes up the whole shoulder. That's what it is. I got it now. Goes all the way up here. I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking that it would bend up for that. Okay. Well, that looks pretty neat. Then we got to do the other on the other side. We'll do the other one on the other side. These are easy to apply. I'll give them that. Way easier than water slides. A little harder to fix if you fucked up, but a lot easier to apply. All right, that's going to do it. We're wrapped up with our RX-78 GE, the Gundam EX, which, as I said, I will have a I'll have a new thing starting on Saturday. I'm working on a Lego set that came from my Amazon wish list, thanks to an anonymous person who purchased that. Yeah, I like the design of this. I wish the shield wasn't like this, but what are you going to do? This was a fun enough build there. My issue with these current kits is, with this and the previous one, the Zaku that we made, is that there's just a few elements to this that are, the instructions leave a little bit to be desired. I think the builds are interesting, but some of the design choices or for instructions aren't my favorite. A little frustrating there. So, but that's it, and that's gonna do it for tonight's stream. Now, of course, we are gonna end things here with a raid, because that is how we end every stream around here. We always end with a raid. We're gonna go find someone doing cool stuff that we want to go hang out with, and so we'll go do that. And I got to see who that is, who we're going to go hang out with. So I invite you to come along on this raid. Let's go see, who are we going to go hang out with. We're going to figure that out right now. Let's see. We're going to go raid the Old Timey Computer Show. I do love the Old Timey Computer Show. They are doing a, let's see. I can't read what this says. We'll check it out in a second. But we're going to go hang out with the Old Timey Computer Show. We got some stuff. Okay, this is a promotional video for Fatal Fury Special 1993. And that's it. This looks incredible. I'm so fucking excited to check this out for a couple minutes. So feel free to come along on this raid. I want to thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you come back on Saturday for some fun times. It'll be a good time. We'll work on a Lego set. It's gonna be pretty chill. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.